See, Stephen A is one of those people who suffer from an insomnia amount of problems. And when you have these problems on your hands, you run into a situation where you end up having to apologize years later because you know your actions were so vile and you've affected a lot of people. And shouts out to I Am Athlete for this interview and getting him to do this. But why now? Why do you feel the need to apologize now? That's the part that gets me. Why are you doing it now? There was plenty of times you could have apologized to Glenn Big Dog Robinson and Allen Iverson. Why now? Why do you feel basically like this is an obligation for you to handle this in this fashion? Why today? Does it become, oh, this is what we need to do? I feel we need to do this. Why today, Stephen A? That's what I want to know. Why now? Why today? One, because he's trying to sell a book. Two, because we put the pressure on his ass. Meaning myself, Kwame Brown, and others. He know. I put out the Glenn Robinson story. That Glenn Robinson story is years old. I just put that out less than a year ago. Now you're addressing it for the first time ever. Why? Because nobody was talking about it. It was buried and gone. And then it was brought back up. And you see the pain Glenn Robinson had. And he was pissed off. He was really pissed off. So why would it take this long for you to address that when you definitely didn't agree with what he did? Talking about he got Billy King fired. Billy King got himself fired. One. That had nothing to do with him. You had no disdain for the white man that let him go. But you want to blame an athlete who all of it was a lie. But you believed it to be true. You just blamed the athlete like you normally always do. And this is the problem construct what people have with Stephen A. This is the problem construct people have with this guy. Because he hasn't been truthful. He has been lying to the general public, claim he's doing journalism work when all he did was sabotage. So why today you want to apologize to Allen Iverson and Glenn Robinson? You wasn't feeling this way before your book was coming out. This stuff is about 20 years old. AI ain't had nothing to do with you since. Now, if AI ain't dealing with you, there's a reason. Do you want to keep going? Stephen A. Smith, let's go through the real reasons why. Stephen A. Smith had never, ever been looked at in ESPN or any of these other places. When he was in the reporting on Philadelphia, he came up to prominence because of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson single-handedly championed him. Allen Iverson told him, and he finally admitted right here what Allen Iverson told him when they was face to face. He said, I don't care about the story you wrote. I don't care about that. The only thing I cared about was your name at the end of it. I didn't care about the story. I cared about your name at the end of it. That's what I cared about. Because it showed me you wasn't my boy. You pretended to be because you just wanted to get on. And that hurt him. Allen Iverson is a man of pride. And once he feel like you took a dump on him after pretending to be his brother for all those years, you would have never had any of those NBA guests come on if Allen Iverson didn't champion it and come on there. Allen Iverson championed you. So how dare you not take that into consideration before you go ahead and start sabotaging people. That's what you did, Stephen A. That's what you did. You went and massacred Kwame Brown's career. You talked about Kwame Brown longer than you talked about Glenn Robinson. You talked about Kwame Brown longer than you did Allen Iverson. But those two guys you want to apologize and make amends to. Then you should have this whole book dedicated to Kwame Brown. Because for 20 years, you've been doing the same run-on joke about how he's the biggest bust in basketball history, which isn't true. But yet you want to use him as an example for everything else. So have this man as a running joke. When DeMarco, whatever, told y'all to leave him out of it, y'all got scared and said, whoa, we going to leave Marco alone. Or Darko. We going to leave Darko alone. Darko got tired of it. He said, look, I got drafted. I didn't work out in the NBA. I had a career overseas that was great. I got a wife. I got children now. Why are you guys talking about? Isn't that the same thing Kwame Brown said? He didn't ask y'all to talk about him in a positive light and give him some publicity. He said, don't even talk about me at all. So he's not looking for attention and fame. If somebody tells you on a major platform to don't talk about them, leave them out of it, because they had nothing to do with anything, you jumped on the wagon and decided to ride the Kwame Brown gravy train. You, Fox News, everything, because he stopped the internet. So you guys wanted to rope on and ride it to the sunset. That's what you did it for. You ain't fooling me or nobody else. They know what you did it for. Look at him. He know what he did. That's why he's sitting there looking dumb. Look at him. He was sitting there looking dumb the whole time. He's only there to sell a book. He's not there because he sincerely wants to apologize for his actions and the way he handled things. He's doing that simply because he knows. He knows what he was. He knows what he did. And this is why these people like this never make it. They fizzle out. His health is declining, stressed out every day from all their actions. Let's take a gander at the
Big Dog Robinson. We had years ago because I felt like he got a brother fired and it was unfair. But we took it too far. And I remember, I forgot which city I was in, but his son was playing. And I walked up on his son and I said, I want you to know I'm rooting for you. And I want you to know that whatever went on with me and your dad, I was wrong. Because I might have thought I had a point, but I don't want you walking around thinking that somebody is thinking this way about your daddy.
Right.
It was just a disagreement. And I should not have allowed it to get as far as it got. So I want you to know that if I see your father face to face, I'm going to apologize to him. If I don't see him face to face, I'm going to walk in that faith with you knowing that I will never be unfair to you and I will never hold anything against you or your dad. And I don't want your dad to ever think that I would do that to you, because that's just two grown men that got a little out of hand because of that incident. And I told Glenn Robinson III that to his face. I haven't seen his dad since, but I let that go. I'm a professional. I'm in the media. The fact of the matter is, I could have stopped that, and I didn't. So that's on me. So that was a big thing. That's number one. Number two is Iverson. Allen Iverson. That's my man. I should have took off my reporter hat years before I actually did, and been more invasive, been more in his face, because I was one of the few people who could do that to him, and he would actually listen. You see what I'm saying? Because he knew, other than the core of the story, I didn't want nothing from him, And he's come a long way. He's so much better now, but so much that he went through in his life. Obviously, I can't say whether I could have helped him avoid it or not, because you're a grown man, you're going to do what you do. But I think I could have been more of a big brother. I just got so much love for him. He affects me in a way that no athlete has, because I know where his heart is. We're like brothers. And we're like that now. I wish I had embraced it sooner. I never forget one time when he was mad at me. They had some info on him. He was partying when he was supposed to be with his family or whatever. And I wrote a story about how he needed to not party. I didn't get deep. I just said, you can't be partying. They watching you. And he was so offended about it. We didn't talk for like 2 years. And I was hearing he was in Atlanta and people talking about he looking for me and all that stuff. So I ended up going down there. Man, you looking for me? Me? Well, I'm supposed to be your boy. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I went into all the stuff that I knew that I never said. And how could you have this attitude? And he looked me in the face, man. And he said, "Don't give a damn about the story." He said, "Your name was on the bottom line."
He didn't give a damn about the story. Your name was on the bottom line of that story. That's what offended him. Your name was at the bottom of that story. That's what offended him. But what about Kwame Brown's apology? Did you draft up one for Kwame? Because see, hit the like button too, good people. And if you want to support the page, my Cash App is Carceno $Carceno. You'll see a picture of me in a green shirt, and it'll say Carceno for life, and then Carceno right there. That's the Cash App. So that's in case you want to donate to the Cash App. Other people, everybody don't have Super Chat. So, well, thank you, Ishmael. I appreciate that. Now, my thing is this. When other people see Stephen A. Smith comes along and do the things that he do and his actions, no one takes into consideration that Stephen A. Smith is the exact same person he's always been. They don't take that into consideration. Stephen A. has always been this guy. Stephen A. has always been this guy, self-serving. He doesn't care about anybody. He claims he does, because he tries to claim like, oh, I did this for mama. I did this for my family. No, you did it for you. Everything you did for you. And rather to have the fortitude to stand on it, he didn't. He kept bashing Kwame Brown because it boosted his career. He came up and got his job back on ESPN by starting a debate show. Who was he bashing? Kwame Brown. They were having a debate with Jalen Rose and Skip Bayless, and they were bringing Stephen A. on as a guest. He was under contract, but he was sitting out, and they were going to let his contract just run out. And he was done. He was done with the network. They was done with Stephen A. Smith. They came in there debating who? Kwame Brown. That was about 20 years ago, seems like. So you tell me, this brother's been using Kwame Brown's name to get and ride his name to fame his entire career. He went to universities and colleges speaking about Kwame Brown. Why are you talking about Kwame Brown when there's all of these? It's not cap, it's proof. Why are you talking about Kwame Brown and all of these other athletes when there's all these other professional athletes who are in the top 75? You don't speak on them nearly as much as you spoke on Kwame Brown. Just because you put a cap emoji in there don't mean that it isn't true, brother. Everybody else knows it as fact. So where's Kwame Brown's apology? Did you do that for him? No. What you did was come out with a diss video that you thought was going to help you promote ESPN's Plus channel, your program that you got on ESPN Plus. You wanted to use Kwame Brown to once again launch something for you and get subscriptions to ESPN Plus to watch your show on ESPN Plus. And you used Kwame Brown as the gas. So where's his apology? I'm not saying he's waiting for it from you. I'm just saying, is it in the book? Where is it? You didn't have an apology for him. You doubled down. You arrogantly did your show and doubled down just a year ago. You had your crew go and find and look at NBA footage for a whole week to go and edit and find any footage of Kwame Brown not looking well or blowing a play, Steven Jackson talking to Kwame Brown about something, making it look like he's being chastised. You tried to victimize and double down on the victimizing. Once he spoke up for himself for the first time in 20 years, he decided to address you. You didn't like it and said, hey, you know what? I was wrong. You could have said that. That was for you to take the high road and say, you know what? Maybe I did go too far. You didn't. You arrogantly tried to use Kwame Brown to once again promote your boss's page, Massa. Wanted to impress Zaddy, who told us the key to success is making sure that we think, how much money can we make our boss and see how we can get a piece of it. That's the key to success from Stephen A. Smith. Is let's make Zaddy money and see, and let's hope we tap dance good enough that Zaddy say, you know what? You've been a good tap dancer. Here you go. That's the key to success. That's how you make it. And he wake up every morning with that on his mind. How can I make Zaddy more money? He literally said these things out of his mouth. To brainwash young black men to believe all we got to do is toe the line and listen to what bosses say. That's okay. Stephen A just said it. Look at him. He is a success. Let's just do that. Forget being an independent mind and having our own brains and thinking for ourselves. You never see a white man tell other white people that, ever. Because that is the dumbest advice another human being could do. So where's Kwame Brown's apology, Stephen A? Oh, we got to get the book for that? So you want to use Kwame again, huh, to sell your stuff? Hmm. See, you have no care in your heart. You're pathetic. You see, that's what you want to do. You want to point at, make fun of, and double down until I guess that's your next book, huh? You finna Steve Harvey it. That's your plan. The Steve Harvey it. Oh no, Gummy got problems on his hands. That's why they all running over here now. They running over here because Gummy got problems on his hands. So, he was messing with Carcino. Now, he know better. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. So now Gummy running. Nah, he ain't been on nobody's neck. Nah, we jumped on his neck and he can't take it. That heat was too much. I told y'all to run back and ask him about his boy Slop. Told him to start showing some paperwork. Told him to take that camera and walk around his house. He didn't do none of it. So why should we address him? He done. And expose that boy. Now look at Stephen A. Now, he thinks it's a great idea to go at Kwame Brown because it's beneficial for him. This is going to grow him and take him to a whole new plateau. Mm-hmm. This is going to grow his Stephen A's world. You know what happened? Stephen A. world didn't do nothing. It ended up being on YouTube and people waited for it. The subscriptions, nobody cared about. It got 1 million views for him when he did this. 1 million views. ESPN promoted it, the whole nine. Kwame Brown played over 10 years in the NBA. You don't play over 10 years in the NBA for anybody. If that's your construct of what a bomb is, then what do you call the players that's out the league in 2, 3 years? If Kwame's a bum and he's the biggest bum there is, and he's like, well, he's a number 1 draft pick. So there was never a number 1 draft pick that didn't play as long as Kwame and didn't have a successful career. Mm-hmm. What's up, Tanya? I see you. Don't forget to hit the like button, good people. Oh no, because we're just getting to it. Allen Iverson, what you said about Allen Iverson, why didn't you apologize 20 years ago? Why didn't you apologize 20 years ago to Allen Iverson? That's what I want to know. Why did it take you so long to apologize to Allen Iverson? He walked up to Glenn Robinson's son. That's what he said. I walked up to Glenn Robinson III and I said to him, look, I don't hold nothing against your father. I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. Don't think that me and 2 grown men having a conversation and a disagreement about something that we would hold that against you. I would never do that. Just like you, look, it went too far. I took it too far. I apologize. And when I see your father, I haven't ran into him yet, but when I do, I'm going to walk up to him and I'm going to apologize. So when you see me, just know we're in this state of mind anytime you see me. Because he already knew, oh, his son, if he makes it, I don't want him to say it was because of me and I ain't like his dad. If I say something critiquing his game, I'm taking it out on him because of his father. You already greasing the damn slopes. And you still ain't publicly apologized to his daddy. But we know you when you see him, you gonna cop a plea. See, here's what Allen Iverson was thinking. Okay, he already know other people are gonna disrespect him. But you his boy. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. Do you think these reporters who see these white guys there sit there and those white reporters, they pick and choose what they want to write? You think these other reporters don't know about LeBron James? They don't know about him or what he do? They know. But they in his pocket. Brian Wardhog ain't never gonna write nothing against LeBron James that's gonna make LeBron James say, hey man, what the hell you doing? He gonna clear everything by LeBron. Right. Everybody, ain't nobody stupid. They know you trying to sell a book. They know you're trying to sell a book. And because you're trying to sell a book, that is the only reason that this happened. The only reason. No. This man went and reported on Allen Iverson, right? He's telling it as if that's the only thing he did. You didn't just do that, bro. Like Allen Iverson said, I didn't give a damn about the story. He's not emotional about the story. It was the fact your name was at the end of that story. That's what pissed him off. How dare you? When I put you in that position, you would never have been an ESPN journalist if it wasn't for Allen Iverson. Never. Your hard work didn't get you there. Allen Iverson got you there. He wanted to help a fellow brother. Right, right. You get in the NBA, and all of a sudden you got all the answers. That's how they supposed to have it, right? Oh, well, he's in the NBA, so he knows what he's talking about. No, Stephen A would have never made it to the ESPN. There were other journalists. They weren't even looking his way. Them racist people didn't want Stephen A. People rooted for him because he was a brother. And the brothers went for him because we saw Allen Iverson. We was like, hey, that's AI. AI with him. AI is backing him up. That's the only reason other players came over to talk to you. They was like, oh, okay, so this brother's all right. You used Allen Iverson. That's why. When he saw your name at the end of that story, you violated his trust. You knew that was something you shouldn't have spoke on. Who are you to tell him, man, you need to stop partying? You partying too much. That wasn't the only thing you did, bro. You got arrogant and said, oh, I could have talked about the time about him he was having problems with his wife. And talking about him drinking and all this stuff. You bringing all this up at the wrong time, brother. For somebody that was supposed to be his boy. When somebody's supposed to be your boy, you go talk to them. You don't go, oh, I could have said this. Not to somebody that got you where you at now. Don't get there and start doing that. Then when you get humbled, you use Kwame Brown as the gas to get you back in the seat. Don't think we haven't noticed. Because we did. Absolutely, good people. They don't want it. None of them do. They play like they nice. They not nice. This is part of the game. Part of the game, people. This is all part of the game. He didn't. Did he have to say something? He wasn't living his life. Did Darko ever say something? Darko never said a word. Right? But when they went to mentioning Darko again, you know what they did? Darko shut it down, and you know what they did? They respected it. They didn't come back and double down on Darko. Darko said, hey, man, look, I didn't play my game. It didn't work out in the NBA. I'm over here now in the UK, taking care of my family. I got my kids, my wife. Why are y'all mentioning me? And they was, oh, yeah, well, you know, he's right. He wasn't right. He was white. And that's why y'all stood down and honored that man's wishes. Kwame said something, y'all wanted to fight him. Because you feel what? He's black. Who cares? And the sad part is, it came from brothers. That's what I said. People don't have no loyalty no more. They would have never done that to Ben Roethlisberger. When Roethlisberger got those cases, and you know what cases I'm talking about, when he was facing 3 of them, all them writers in Pittsburgh, you know what they did? They turned a blind eye. All that evidence was staring them right in the face. They threatened that woman. They did everything. And you know what happened? Nothing. Not one thing happened. That woman was bullied to the point where she said, I'm not even pushing this to court. She didn't testify. For that reason and that reason only. Hit the like button, good people. This that real talk. Yeah, Gummy, I stay prepared. Stay prepared, Gummy. Stay ready. So you ain't got to get ready. Now, how you doing, Mr. Fly? You want to come in my house? Oh, you just made a mistake, Mr. Fly. You came into the room of doom. Yeah, Mr. Fly. How you doing? Me and you finna have a very good conversation. Yeah. Come on, Mr. Fly. Nobody asked you to come in here. But I know where you're going. There he is. Hold on. These are his last moments. Now we just gotta find the body. We just gotta find the body. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll leave that for another time. Mm-hmm. Right. We cover everything we want to cover. We make that decision. Like, let's take it for instance. We look at people such as, I don't know, you look at people such as Nick Wright, his kiss up to LeBron James. If there's something negative about LeBron James, he's not going to speak on it. He's going to cover for LeBron. Why? Because LeBron is keeping him on. Boom. He ain't going to speak on it. He going to keep him thriving. No jiving. And why would he keep him thriving? Because it what? Keeps him paid. When he saw Allen Iverson, he knew one thing. Allen Iverson was on the down spark. He was on the down slope of his career. Everybody is taking shots at Allen Iverson. Iverson name don't have that weight no more. I got all these other athletes. I got Kobe. I got Shaq. I got all these other athletes now because of you, Allen Iverson. Thank you. Now I can step over you and talk to you disrespectfully. And to me, that wasn't acceptable. By no standards did I feel that was acceptable. That's like, let's say I blow up and become one of the biggest YouTube stars in the world. And then I feel like I could take shots at Kwame Brown. You know, like, hey, I'm getting more views than you now, Kwame. So, you know, you can kick rocks. Huh? Huh? I don't have that in my DNA. And the reason I don't have that in my DNA is because I wasn't brought up to be like that. If nobody has crossed me, I don't double cross them. Hit the like button, good people. I don't sandbag people like that. I don't forget where I came from. That don't mean like I'm starving to go back where I came from. I've just never forgotten it. People every day say that stuff. They say, I'm a real one. Everybody always talking about how real they are. They be the first ones to fold. Real people don't have to go around telling you how real they are. They show it and prove it by example. I never looked at it that way. What can Stephen A? Why didn't he apologize to Kwame Brown? That's all he had to do. Mm-hmm. Same thing I thought. You know how many people like Kenyon Martin was ready to rip his head off? Where's Kenyon Martin's apology? There's so many things he did that was so disrespectful, it didn't even make sense. Well, see, that's what people do. They lie to themselves. Y'all were like that, not me. I never thought of it that way. Y'all did. You see, that's the problem with most people. They don't seem to get it. Stephen A. Smith finally decided he wanted to apologize to Iverson and Robertson, but why not Kwame Brown? Whether he accepted or not, he didn't give it. Don't you understand? Because pretty much it's like saying if DJ Academics came to me and apologized, would I accept it? If Vlad came to me and apologized, would I accept it? It all depends of how the apology is coming. He just knows Stephen A so much. He be like, I know this dude. It's not gonna be coming from a good place. He'll be apologizing because he wants ratings for a show. So if Kwame's saying that, you know he's saying it like, I ain't gonna even accept it because I know it's BS. Because if the man was really sorry and he really felt that way, it wouldn't have took 20 years and you wouldn't have been. What's stopping you from doing the rings now? That's what I want to know. What's stopping you today? He had to do that with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is an active superstar who had that kind of pull to get his mama on the show. See, that's different. It hit different now. It hit different. It hit different. It hit different. Oh, it hit a lot different then when Kevin Durant had his mama on there. Oh, that situation hit a lot different. But why was it hitting different? Big dog Glenn Robinson. So only because he saw Glenn Robinson third. But when KD Mama was on ESPN, his mama was able to sit on the show. That was for a reason. Carmelo Anthony told you the extent of y'all friendship. When they said Carmelo was saying all this stuff and he was on the Dream Team, and they were saying, oh, Melo saying this, Melo said that. What did Melo tell him on TV and did that whole stupid segment? What did he tell you? He told you what? He said one thing that he told him what? He said, you got my number. I told you. Stephen A., this is how we gonna do this. If you ever hear anything about me, ask me. And I will tell you. And you promised him, oh, okay, I got it. I got it. That's my brother. Carmelo Anthony's my brother. Then you went and didn't talk to him and went ahead and did a whole story on him. And he called you from overseas. And what did you say? Oh, I would have called you, but you was overseas with the Dream Team. And he said, did you attempt to call me? Nah, you didn't. You got international minutes. I know you do. So why didn't you call me? Because I didn't know if you was in practice. I don't know what's going on. Bruh, you know what I told you. I'm calling you now, and I'm from over here. So the next day, he put out an apology to Carmelo and told the world Carmelo's side of it. Y'all remember that? Yeah, man, and the sad part is I thought Ernie had passed away already. Now I'm like, man, Ernie Shavers, I thought he had passed away, man. That's sad. That was one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in the history of boxing. Ernie Shavers. Alabama slammer, baby. That Alabama power was real. Rest in peace, champ. Rest in peace. Shoot, Ali said that out his own mouth. He hit harder than George Foreman. He was like, no, Ernie Shavers hit way harder than George. Oh, he talking about having Gilbert Arenas on the show now. You see? You see how that worked? Gil done got what he wanted. And you get rewarded. Everybody knew how stupid it was. He gets attention for it. You see how that happens? You say something stupid, they will reward you for it. Do something stupid. You have now. You mean a real clown? Yeah, Gil's a real clown. Think about it. I told you. Captain Jack is known for what? Doing something stupid. Right? That is what Captain Jack is known for. He's famous and he got popularity for doing something stupid. Matt Barnes is popular for what? Doing something stupid. They're not famous, they're infamous. Black man do something stupid, he gets rewarded. They highlight their stupidity. Matt Barnes went and fought Derek Fisher and went over to his ex-wife's house, jumped the fence, and started fighting him. Because they figure we love ignorance. So let's show them being ignorant. Because that's what they're about. That's the mentality. They don't do that with white athletes. White athletes get jobs and promotions based on who they are and stature and their abilities and all the positive things. We get it from ignorance. Gilbert Arenas says something very stupid. He's been saying stupid stuff a long time to try to get people to notice him and get attention. He finally says something real stupid about Giannis. And once he said something stupid about Giannis, what happened? Now he's talked about on ESPN. They're talking about him everywhere. That's how it came across my attention that I ended up talking about it. I'm like, oh, it finally landed for him. He finally had his viral moment. He's been searching for that ignorant thing. He's been saying ignorance all along. Dennis Rodman couldn't hold LeBron and all this stuff. He had to say something that the whole world would think he was so stupid to say. And once he said, Giannis don't know how to train himself. He ain't training properly. Once he said that stupidity out of his mouth, the whole thing was out the window. Everybody knew how stupid he was. His trolling moment has worked. He got what he wanted. He's now viral. Now just think about it. Stephen A. Smith is finally mentioning him. How many times has Gilbert Arenas and Kwame Brown have had conversations on streams and they would not mention it once on their platforms? Not once did you hear any one of them, not one, have anything to say about it. Not one. So think about that. Let that sink in for a minute. Not once. It wasn't mentioned on ESPN. It wasn't mentioned on Fox. This is Gilbert Arenas, former NBA player. Kwame Brown, former NBA player. Are they having this dialogue back and forth? They don't even mention it. But the moment he says something about Giannis, they mention it. Because why? Giannis is an active superstar in this league. Skip Bayless. When Zeke came out for the Dallas Cowboys, He loves Zeke. He told him the whole nine, right? He said, listen, I love Zeke. I need Zeke on the team 100%, and I don't need no distractions. Zeke is our guy. Once Zeke sucked and he threw Zeke jersey in the garbage in the trash for attention on social media, Zeke's mom reached out to him and said, don't ever talk to my son or leave my son alone. Don't talk about us no more. We don't need your support. So he was, no, made up to the mom, right? And once he made up to the mom, what did he do after that? He made up to the mom and said, okay, this is what we're going to do now. Now that I've made up to the mom, I'm going to promote Zeke the way he's supposed to be promoted. Then Zeke sucked. He went right back to disrespect to Zeke. He was cut off. The whole family just said, hey, it's over. And Skip is like, look, if he sucked, he sucked. And I'm going to say he sucked. I'm sorry. I can't sugarcoat it. This is why I don't get close to athletes. This is why Skip Bayless said I don't get close to athletes because I don't want them to be expecting no favors. And I can respect that. That's the same reason why I don't like doing it. I don't like to get close to these athletes because if I say something, I don't want them to. This is a dirty game, believe me. People that don't even talk to you believe that you work for them almost. And I'll be like, huh? Dog, I don't work for you. I'm interviewing you. That helps you, not me. Like, we had to have this conversation with people who are living in the delusion of social media. They think because they had so many followers on social media, they were stars. And I'm like, dude, nobody really knows you. Period. I don't know who you got running your social media, but nobody in the real world knows you. And you came to us for an interview, and we did the interview. And you came back because no one else, the majors, wasn't thinking about you. You weren't on ESPN. You weren't on Fox News. Nobody's checking for you. For the subscribers you have, they should be looking for you. You have no sponsorship. You had nothing. So I'm like, we're helping you out because you're not definitely helping us. We're not going to get any views off that interview, which we didn't. But it wasn't even about that. It was like, shoot, take it. Then you had a problem with us? Like, we don't work for you, bruh. And we had to tell them, like, we don't work for you, bruh. We don't. Because we don't work for you. Now take that to the bank. So they was like, they wanted us to remove the interviews and everything. It was nothing. It was like, Sean, we don't have to, but Sean, you want to take it down? Sean took it down. Took down all the interviews, everything, videos, all of it, gone. What that doing for us? No one cares about them. So once they realize that, it's a lot of them like that, and it's most of these people on social media are like that. And I've seen them use these young people for their talent and who want to be the next them and abuse them. And if they don't do something like toe the line, they turn on them. They literally turn on them. It's a sick world, man. It's a very sick world. I already told you, Gummy's done. He's through. He got no more fight. Ain't nothing he can say no more. He's done. He's been drug in the mud. All he had to do was present paperwork. He couldn't do it. You can't falsify stuff. And you can't falsify facts and think that's cool. Now you got to show and prove. He couldn't show and prove. All he did was delusionally lie to y'all. But you go back to Gummy channel and you see those casino videos are gone. You see that, right? when he was showing that yeah, this is the address and these are the and all that stuff. I got all this information. You see them videos gone, don't you? He got that legal notice. Slap, slap, slap. Them legal notices start coming. He was, oh, what is this? Yeah, chump. Now you got to back it up. Sino showed and proved everything he had to show and prove. Now it was up to you to show and prove. You fought against it and you lost. Not once, but twice. And it's going to be some more coming. And then you using white boy tactics. You started the white boy tactics. And now it's kicking you in the ass. You wanted to be stupid. I'm going to show you what stupid gets you. Ain't no beef. Ain't no beef at all. He started it. I'll just finish it. That's what happens. Now he walking around with his head down. Them legal notices are smacking him right inside the head. See, I'll show you how to do this, son. Can't go around and keep lying on people. No. He said, I just want to debate stuff without people saying you are capping a troll. That's all. That's what people are gonna say. Anything. That's the first response of people. That's all they know. You capping, you trolling, you capping, you trolling, you capping, you trolling, you capping, you trolling. Nah, man, it's always been that way with me. I've always been straight up and down. Like 6 o'clock, baby. You can't just say that and don't have any proof, Mr. Harris. You want to get hit with a legal notice too? See, that's how you deal with cappers. You hit them with that legal notice and they got to prove it. I'd be like, prove it, chump. Prove it. Where's my Range Rover? Where was this repossession? Where was it? Oh, it didn't exist? Then where did it come from then, dummy? Who had a Range Rover? You just can't go around lying on people, man. You know, you just can't do it. You gotta have to prove it. Now prove that I had a Range Rover and it got repossessed. Show them that paperwork. You couldn't provide it. You didn't have it. So what did they do? They snatched your video down. They snatched that mug right under you. Give me that. Then they had the other video. I said, you gotta prove it. You got the paperwork. All you gotta do is prove it, dummy. Prove it. You can't prove it? Okay. Whip. ain't seen what T.I. said about King, but I'm about to. My T.I. King video is gonna be the most epic video ever made. I can tell you that right now. That's why I'm saving off on it. Yeah, he lying for fun. He thinks it's funny to just go around saying lies like that. You can't make inaccurate lies like that. I'll allow trolling like the next man, but when you start taking things past the line, then okay, now you got to prove it. And once we prove it to you that you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't know what you're doing, and you just lying, then now the whole world know you're a liar. Your followers know you're a liar. They don't care anyway because they lie. So let them all stick together in one big lie bowl. And because you couldn't prove it, now you lost what you had. And let's see how that benefits you down the road. Yeah, see, that's what Gummy wants. Gummy wants people to take him to court and jail so he can get publicity off of it. He wants all that. But I know how to do a lot more. And if he keeps coming, it's going to get a lot worse. See, I got stuff in the vault. Like I told you, he on the outer surfaces of the black hole. He ain't go all the way in it yet. He on the out surfaces. He ain't get sucked all the way in it yet. Because he still ain't answered the questions we didn't provide it. When I say you living in your mama and your wife house, that's because we know you living in your mama and your wife house. I didn't say that because I didn't know it to be true. I know it to be true. That's why I said it. So I didn't have to provide any evidence on it because he know I could provide that evidence. That's why he came out and said, yeah, so what? I live with my mom and my wife. Yeah, the house is in my mom and wife name. So? That's where he is where he is. So, yeah, I won, but I always win. So, it don't even matter. Yeah, I won. That's why he got to shut up now. He banking on Gil to come out with a cartoon to save him. Gil, can you save me? I can't mess with Carcino. Okay, I'll get him for you, Gummy. This man said Gilbert Arenas is the one that gave him the information. He said that on a video. That's how stupid he was. Yeah, if you want to know who gave me the information, shouts out to Gilbert Arenas. It was Gilbert. That's who. Yeah, nah, I got it from Gilbert Arenas. I said, if I wanted to make things uncomfortable for Gilbert, I could. But why? But because the dummy just did it for him. All for attention. He ready to throw Gil right under the bus. Well, they could bear down all they want. It's about TB12 right now. When TB12 retired, then we might go back over to the Bears. They finally getting Ted Phillips is finna step down after this season, and I'm okay with that. Exactly. They should have been fired him. People said Donovan Mitchell is a traitor. Why? That he wanted to lead the Utah Jazz. He wanted to lead the Utah Jazz because he wanted out. He didn't want to go to Cleveland. He wanted to go to Miami. But they didn't want to send him to the Heat because they was mad at Dwayne Wade. And they was like, wait, we brought you here to help out with the Donovan Mitchell situation. And then he was like, oh, you trying to sabotage us to get him to Miami. D Wade was like, shoot, I don't got no connection with that. He liked them dudes. That's him. But to see that, they tried to use Dwayne Wade to be their token blackie. Dwayne Wade was their token blackie when they was facing all those racial issues in Utah. We're not. They had a damn press conference on the court. The damn owner. We're not a racist place. And they went in then with all that incidents they kept having with Russ. They had to make that speech on the court. And next thing you know, you got Dwayne Wade, part owner of the new and improved Utah Jazz. We like darkies. So after that, they decided to now turn on him. The first sign of anything going wrong with their organization is the guy who has 0.00000000001% ownership in the company. It's his fault. We're going after him. It's Dwayne Wade's fault. You see how quick that happened? The man who got no ownership damn near in there, but he's an intricate part of what happens with the Utah Jazz. Yeah, now that everybody gone, they're gonna blame Wade. That's his job. He to be the whipping boy for everything that happened. Like Jay-Z signed up to be the whipping boy for the NFL. Trust me, I got broad shoulders. You just make sure the check cashes every Friday. I can take the abuse. Exactly, man. No, it's a good cruising day now. Oh, I had to put the top up only because of that one guy playing that music. Absolutely. I didn't realize this been over an hour. I need to make some things happen, Captain. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later. We did the StreamYard last night on Donovan Mitchell, as promised. I did not hit the strip club up last night. Might not hit it up tonight either. I don't feel like going to the strip club. I told you they jumped him. I told you they jumped him. Big Worm. Didn't I say in my video they jumped him? And why would Trey lie about that? Now Trey gonna have to explain why he lied. That's why I said I wasn't making my video until I heard both sides. I already saw the video and could have made my assessment and been the early word bird that got the worm and just jumped off the cliff. I said I'm gonna wait. Yeah, you probably didn't see it yesterday. Yesterday I did my video on it yesterday and I said it. I'm like, dog, he wasn't lying about getting jumped. I know he was jumped. He's in the fort. When he was in the posture he was in, that is the posture of somebody who's been jumped. When all the punches is coming from places you don't know, you get in that fetal position, you protect your head, and you bottle up, get in this turtle shell. And then when it's over, you say, all right, it's over, let me raise up and start doing what I gotta do. Start handling your business. That's how it's supposed to go. I don't know what they're doing today out here, but I know that's how it's supposed to go. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna let this digest down for y'all, and I'm gonna come back later. All right.